Hello and welcome. Today I would like to show you guys my home car wash station, which I just completed. I've wanted to have a place to wash my car during the winter because I do not like taking my car to the automatic car washes. I've learned over the years that they are not good for a vehicle's paint finishing, and I am someone who cares and likes to take care of my car's appearance. I try to do that during the summer, but during the winter it comes to the point where I can't wash it just because I do not want to take it to the car wash. I made this video in detail, trying to explain every step possible along the way. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Before we start on the project, I would like to show you the place I am working on. So my garage is part of a two-car garage in a duplex, and this is what it looks like from the outside. Yes, we are in the middle of winter, hence all the snow, but we have rain today, and it's been raining pretty much all day because the temperature is +5 Celsius at the moment. Now we are inside the garage. This side is where my brother parks his car, and this is my side where I applied my idea. I wanted to work on this project since last winter, and finally I got to build it this winter. What you are seeing here is the project completed. Essentially, this is a giant shower for my car. The idea was to protect the walls of my garage while I can freely use my pressure washer to wash my car. This system protects the 3 sides around the car, and the 4th side is my garage door, which doesn't need anything to protect it from getting wet. To do this, I searched for a curtain rail system, which can be customized to a desired shape and size without being too costly. I found this system on Amazon, which consisted of a plastic rail that gets mounted to a ceiling using screws, and it works for drywall. What I liked was the flexibility of the rails and the fact that you can attach 2 rails to make one long one. 2 options were available at the time, a 5 meter or just over 16 feet length, and a 10 meter or almost 33 feet length. This turned out to be almost perfect for me because when I measured my garage perimeter, the sides would need to be about 18 feet each, and the back wall measured 9 feet for a total length of 45 feet. These 2 kits put together would come to 49 feet, so only 4 feet in excess. It ended costing me $45 Canadian for the shorter kit and another $70 Canadian for the longer one. Each one comes with the full kit, which consists of the flexible rail, mounting brackets, screws and drywall anchors, track rollers, hooks, and end covers. Here is everything that I received in one kit. Here is the bag of the track rollers, which attach to the curtain rail. Here is the bag of the mounting brackets, which go on the ceiling. And this is the bag of hooks, and these are the screws and anchors. That's everything besides the actual curtain rail that come in the kit. Before I went ahead and bought everything I needed for the system, I wanted to do a sort of proof of concept to make sure this will work. To do that, I only bought the shorter curtain rail kit first and went ahead and installed it. We will go through the whole installation process soon, but right now I just want to show you what the system looks like, just in a straight line. The other reason we are not going to see the installation just yet is because I did not do any recording during the installation, just in case this did not work and I have to scrap the whole project. You can see here the first portion of my curtain rail installed on my ceiling, which is essentially a straight line. I did notice the waviness on the rail, but I also knew that this won't cause any issues later on. For the curtain part, I looked for the most economical plastic curtain type suitable for this task. I knew I would find this by searching for shower curtains instead of any other type of curtain, but this ended up being a shower liner. Being transparent and the right height and for the right price, I chose this item from Amazon. It cost me $20 Canadian for a set of 2 curtain liners of 72 inches wide by 78 inches high each. I should clarify that I am not in any way sponsored by anyone for this video, and that whatever material I purchased for this project was through my own funds. After installing the shower curtain liner, I liked the height of it and the point to where it reaches the bottom, and I decided that I will be getting more of these, 8 in total, to go around the 3 sides of my enclosure. The other thing I liked about these liners was that they have metal rings instead of flimsy plastic, so I knew these would last much longer. This is what the shower curtain would look like spread out while I wash my car. And this is how one shower liner will overlap another to make a temporary closed joint. Here you can see how the track rollers are staying on the curtain rail because of the weight of the shower liner, and how the hooks are attached in between the track rollers and the liner. In total, between the 2 curtain rail kits and all the curtain liners, it costed me a total of 195 Canadian dollars in material. A little on the high side from what I expected in the beginning, but I knew I was going to make good use of this. With proof of concept out of the way, let's go ahead and see how the rail system was installed. I decided to make my enclosure as large as possible, and the way to do this was to install the curtain rail just outside of the garage door rail on one side and just inside the garage door rail on the other side, and as close as possible to the rear wall. This way, the curtains would avoid getting in the way of anything close by, like the garage door rails. I have a laser level which I made use of in this project. I used it to make my life easier and show me a straight line. As per instructions, the mounting brackets need to be 10 to 12 inches apart. I decided to install mine 12 inches apart since I wasn't dealing with any kind of fabric curtains. I started with marking off the laser line every 12 inches on my ceiling using a pencil. This is pretty much what I did from the beginning of this side all the way to the end of the wall. So, here are the marks that I made on my ceiling. Let me turn the laser level off so that you can see the marks better. As I had mentioned, these marks are spaced 12 inches apart all the way. I continued doing the same thing on the rear side of the enclosure along my back wall. This is basically a repeat of what I did on the first side. And here is the rear side complete with the markings. I hope you can see them by the camera, the gray pencil marks that are on the ceiling. I am now ready to start drilling holes on the markings and inserting the drywall anchors. It's time now to install the drywall anchors at every marking that was made. This part is pretty simple in my opinion. I just started from one end of the markings that I made on the ceiling. I drilled a hole and inserted a drywall anchor using a hammer as I went along the perimeter. Sometimes I did 2 to 3 holes at a time since they were at reach. There's not much else to say here, so I will just let you watch what I am doing in a time lapse. Okay, so maybe there is something I want to say. As someone who has used quite a few kinds of drywall anchors, especially many of these plastic plugs, there is something I particularly liked about the ones that came in this kit. If you can see the close-up of the top of the plug, you can see the way it has a 5-point star profile built in. I found this helps a lot in taking grip when inserted into the drywall. There is little chance of the plug turning on its own when applying torque with the screw, especially when going for the extra tightening at the end. I much appreciated receiving these plugs in the kit in place of receiving just anything cheap. It was just something I noticed while installing these plugs that I felt was worth mentioning. Moving along. next step is also relatively simple. We have all the holes set and it is time to install the rail brackets to the ceiling. Each bracket only uses one screw to be mounted in place, so like drilling and installing the plugs, I installed the mounting brackets one by one. Here is a close-up of how I install the bracket. It is important to note here that the portion where the rail attaches to the bracket stays on the outside side of the screw, not on the inside. This is as per instructions. Another thing to note is that I had set my drill to a certain torque so as not to over-tighten the screw into the drywall. The torque setting that anyone else would require would have to be determined by maybe doing a test on a drywall plug somewhere else. This would depend on the drill that anyone else would use. I continued to mount the brackets one by one around the perimeter. You can see in the following time lapse how I did this. In case anyone is wondering why I'm wearing a different outfit at almost every step, it's not because I am modeling different clothes. The reason is that I am doing this on Sundays, my only day off. On this day, I give almost all my time to my little one, who happens to be our first, and she's about 18 months old now. The only time I find to do this kind of work happens to be when she's taking her hour-long evening nap. So every part of this video that you see where I have a different outfit is just a different day where I try to complete one step of this project within an hour. Just wanted to clarify that. So here we have it. we have all the mounting brackets installed, one at every 12 inches. Right now is the time to make sure they are all facing the right direction, as I had mentioned before. The part of the bracket that attaches to the rail should be on the outer side of the screw. That will be it for this video. In this video, we did all the prep work, and now we are ready to install the curtain rail and curtains. This we will do in the next video, since that too will be the other half of the work. Thank you for watching, and please look out for the second part to this DIY project.